Hello there, and welcome to Sleepy Science. Chocolate, we think we know it. Sweet, comforting, familiar. But hidden beneath that smooth surface lies a world of secrets, ancient rituals, mysterious compounds, and subtle effects that can calm your mind, shift your mood, and even influence your dreams. Tonight, we're diving into the strange and little-known truths about chocolate. Facts so unusual, so fascinating, they might change the way you see every bite. Chocolate was once considered a drink of immortality by the Aztecs. For them, it wasn't just a food or a treat. It was something sacred, almost magical. They believed that drinking chocolate could give strength, energy, and even prolong life in a spiritual sense. Unlike the sweet chocolate we eat today, the Aztecs made a bitter, frothy drink by grinding cacao beans and mixing them with water, spices, and sometimes chili. Only nobles, warriors, and priests were allowed to drink it because it was so precious. They believed that chocolate could bring them closer to the divine and make them more powerful during ceremonies or battles. Archaeologists have found evidence that this cacao drink was served in special containers decorated with sacred symbols, showing how important it was in their society. Even today, the idea that a simple drink could hold such life-changing power seems strange, making us realize that chocolate has always had a mysterious place in human culture. The cacao tree was worshipped as a sacred being, not just a food source. People in ancient Mesoamerica did not see cacao as just a plant. They considered it alive and powerful. The tree produced beans that were valuable not only as food, but also for spiritual and social reasons. Priests would perform ceremonies under cacao trees, offering prayers and rituals to honor them. The bark, leaves, and pods were sometimes carved or decorated to show respect. They believed the tree had a spirit that could influence health, luck, and even the weather. Farmers took care of cacao trees carefully, thinking that harming them could bring misfortune. This deep respect shows that chocolate's story is more than flavor. It's a connection to beliefs and traditions that valued life, nature, and the unseen forces around them. Even today, the way we treasure chocolate might echo the respect given to the cacao tree centuries ago. Ancient Mesoamericans believed cacao could connect humans to the gods. They thought that drinking cacao was more than a physical act, it was spiritual. The bitter cacao drink was consumed in ceremonies where the goal was to communicate with higher powers. Priests would bless the drink, and people believed that it could carry their thoughts and intentions directly to the divine. Chocolate was considered a medium of energy and insight, helping humans feel closer to the forces controlling life and nature. The special preparation of the drink, often including spices, was meant to increase its sacred power. Even the way it was served, slowly, with attention to detail, showed respect for its supposed spiritual properties. In a way, cacao was seen as a bridge between the earthly world and the spiritual world. Thinking about chocolate this way makes it more than a sweet snack. It becomes a mysterious tool for human connection and understanding, something that has fascinated people for thousands of years. Cacao beans were used as currency, but only in secret elite transactions. In ancient civilizations like the Aztecs, cacao beans were extremely valuable. They were rare, precious, and treated almost like gold or silver. People used them to buy everyday goods like food or clothes, but some transactions were secret and reserved for the elite class. Nobles and merchants would trade cacao beans quietly for luxury items, ceremonial gifts, or even favors from leaders. Because the beans were so important, stealing or damaging them could bring severe punishment. Cacao was carefully counted, stored, and transported to maintain its value. Even ordinary people had to follow strict rules when handling cacao. This hidden system shows how chocolate was more than a treat. It was a form of wealth and power. The fact that a food item once functioned as money is fascinating today and adds a mysterious layer to how humans valued chocolate long before it became the sweet pleasure we know. Some Aztec ceremonies involved chocolate mixed with hallucinogenic plants. The Aztecs believed that combining cacao with certain plants could open the mind and help people see visions. These ceremonies were usually led by priests who understood the plant's effects and knew how to use them safely. The chocolate drink acted as a base, making the powerful plants easier to consume and giving the experience a rich, bitter taste. People participating in these rituals believed they could communicate with the gods, understand the future, or gain wisdom from spirits. The combination of chocolate and these plants created a strange and powerful experience, unlike anything most people encounter today. Archaeologists have found evidence of special cacao containers and traces of hallucinogenic substances, proving that chocolate was more than a snack. It was a tool for altered perception and spiritual exploration. This mysterious use shows how ancient people recognized chocolate's ability to affect both body and mind in extraordinary ways. The first Europeans thought chocolate could cure melancholy and bad dreams. When chocolate reached Europe in the 1500s, it was treated like medicine. Physicians and scholars believed that the bitter cacao drink could lift sadness, calm nerves, and even prevent nightmares. Wealthy people drank chocolate daily, hoping it would improve their mood and health. They mixed it with spices and sugar to make it more enjoyable, but the belief in its medicinal power was strong. Some recipes included cinnamon, almonds, or vanilla, which were thought to enhance chocolate's effect on the body and mind. Chocolate was recommended for people who were tired, anxious, or feeling down, making it a strange and comforting remedy. Even kings and queens relied on it to keep spirits high. The idea that a simple drink could influence emotions and sleep may seem unusual today, but it shows how chocolate has always been linked to mood, health, and mysterious powers, long before it became the sweet treat we enjoy now. In ancient times, chocolate was often spiced with peppers, flowers, and even pollen. The original chocolate drinks were very different from what we drink today. Instead of sugar and milk, people added ingredients found in nature, such as chili peppers, flower petals, and pollen from plants. These additions gave chocolate a complex flavor and were believed to increase its magical and health properties. The spiciness of peppers was thought to energize the body, while flowers and pollen were considered to add spiritual or healing qualities. Each combination of ingredients created a different effect, depending on the purpose of the drink. Priests carefully prepared these chocolate drinks for ceremonies, ensuring that every ingredient was used correctly. The strange mixtures show that chocolate was more than food. It was a ritual substance that could excite the senses, stimulate the mind, and even influence emotions. This ancient approach makes us realize how creative and experimental early chocolate makers were, blending taste with mystery and purpose. Cocoa beans were believed to contain the soul of the forest. Ancient Mesoamericans did not just see cocoa beans as seeds. They believed each bean carried the spirit of the forest it came from. The cacao tree grew in tropical jungles surrounded by other plants, animals, and natural forces, and the beans were thought to hold a piece of that life energy. Farmers and priests handled cacao carefully, often performing small rituals to respect the forest's power. This belief meant that consuming chocolate was like connecting with nature itself, receiving a small portion of the forest's vitality and spirit. Cocoa beans were never treated casually. They were stored in special containers, offered during ceremonies, and sometimes even buried in sacred places. This mysterious idea makes chocolate seem alive, almost magical, and it shows that for thousands of years, humans understood its value beyond taste or nutrition. Thinking about chocolate this way reveals a deep, spiritual side to something most of us see as a simple treat. Some old manuscripts claim chocolate could grant temporary strength and courage. Ancient writings suggest that drinking chocolate was believed to make people stronger and braver for a short time. Warriors, nobles, and even common people were thought to gain energy and mental focus from the bitter cacao drink. The manuscripts describe how consuming chocolate before tasks requiring endurance, like battles or long journeys, helped people feel more alert and confident. The effect was not just physical, it was also psychological. The drink was rich and thick, giving a sense of fullness and warmth that encouraged the mind to stay steady under pressure. While modern science may explain part of this through caffeine and theobromine, ancient people saw chocolate as a mysterious source of temporary power. The idea that a simple bean could make someone feel fearless and energized shows how much importance was placed on chocolate, and it gives a sense of wonder about how it was used in real life centuries ago. Xocolatl, the original chocolate drink, was bitter, foamy, and almost ritualistic. Before sugar and milk were added, chocolate was very different from what we know today. The word xocolatl comes from the Aztec language, and it referred to a drink made by grinding roasted cacao beans, mixing them with water, and creating a thick, foamy texture by pouring it back and forth between containers. The bitterness was intense, and it was rarely consumed casually. Drinking xocolatl was a ritual act. Priests or noble families would prepare it carefully, often adding spices like chili or flowers, and every step had meaning. The foam on top was highly valued, thought to carry magical or spiritual power. The preparation and consumption of xocolatl showed respect for the cacao and its supposed connection to gods. Thinking about chocolate in this form makes it clear that it was more than a food. It was a sacred drink with mysterious cultural and spiritual significance. Chocolate was sometimes reserved for warriors before battle. In ancient civilizations like the Aztecs and Mayans, chocolate was not just a luxury or a treat. Certain warriors were given chocolate drinks before going to fight because it was believed to give them strength, courage, and endurance. The bitter cacao drink, often mixed with spices, acted as a kind of natural stimulant, helping warriors stay alert during long and dangerous battles. The psychological effect was just as important as the physical one. Knowing that they had consumed a special, almost sacred drink could boost confidence. Some records suggest that warriors drank chocolate quietly before dawn or before major missions, almost like a secret ritual. This practice shows how chocolate was considered powerful and rare, something that could influence both body and mind. Even today, it's fascinating to imagine chocolate being used as a source of courage rather than just a sweet snack. Early chocolate consumption was thought to enhance psychic intuition. Ancient people believed that drinking chocolate could help the mind perceive things beyond ordinary senses. It was used in ceremonies where priests or nobles hoped to gain insight into the future, understand hidden truths, or feel closer to spiritual forces. The bitter cacao drink was combined with special ingredients, like flowers, herbs, or spices, that were believed to enhance mental awareness. Participants would consume chocolate slowly, focusing on the experience and paying attention to sensations, thoughts, and visions that appeared afterward. This practice was almost like a form of meditation or mental training. The idea that chocolate could influence the mind in mysterious ways makes it more than food. It was a tool for exploring perception and intuition. Even though modern science explains part of chocolate's effects on the brain, these ancient beliefs show how deeply humans have been fascinated by chocolate's ability to affect thought, mood, and awareness for thousands of years. Certain tribes believed chocolate could whisper secrets if sipped alone at night. Some ancient Mesoamerican tribes held the belief that chocolate had a mysterious ability to communicate hidden knowledge. They thought that drinking chocolate quietly in the dark could reveal secrets of the future or help people understand things they could not see in the daytime. The cacao drink was usually prepared carefully, and participants were encouraged to sip it slowly, focusing on their thoughts and feelings. It was not just a drink, but a tool for reflection, observation, and spiritual insight. By consuming it alone, the mind could focus fully on the subtle messages believed to come from the cacao itself. The idea that chocolate could speak or reveal hidden truths may seem strange now, but it shows how people have long connected chocolate to the mind and spirit. This mysterious belief adds a layer of wonder to something we often think of as simple and ordinary. Cocoa was hidden in ceremonial jars with mysterious symbols. In many ancient cultures, cacao beans and prepared chocolate drinks were treated as sacred objects. They were often stored in jars decorated with symbols and designs that held spiritual or cultural significance. These containers were not for everyday use. They were reserved for ceremonies, rituals, or important gatherings. The symbols on the jars could represent protection, prosperity, or a connection to the gods. Sometimes the jars were buried or kept in secret locations to protect their contents from theft or misuse. This careful treatment shows how highly valued chocolate was, far beyond being a simple food. By storing it in symbolic containers, ancient people gave chocolate a mysterious and almost magical status, making it part of rituals that combined culture, spirituality, and practical use. Even today, thinking about chocolate stored in these ancient jars gives it an aura of secrecy and importance. Chocolate was considered more valuable than gold in several cultures. In ancient civilizations like the Aztecs and Maya, cacao beans were incredibly rare and precious. They were so valuable that people sometimes used them as currency to trade for food, goods, or services. In some cases, a single cacao bean could buy items that today would cost a lot more than gold. This high value was not only because of taste, but also because of chocolate's cultural and spiritual importance. Chocolate was associated with wealth, status, and power, and it was carefully guarded by elite families and rulers. People would take great risks to acquire it, and rules were strict for how it could be used or shared. Knowing that chocolate was once considered more valuable than gold helps us understand its significance in history. It was not just a treat or luxury. It was a form of wealth and a symbol of respect and power in ancient societies. The Maya mixed chocolate with vanilla and maize to unlock hidden flavors believed to calm spirits. The ancient Maya had a deep understanding of ingredients and how flavors could affect the mind and body. They discovered that combining cacao with maize and natural vanilla created a drink with richer taste and unusual effects. Maize, the staple crop, added body to the drink, while vanilla added a subtle sweetness and aroma. Beyond flavor, these mixtures were thought to calm the mind, soothe emotions, and even influence spiritual well-being. Drinking this combination was often part of rituals or social gatherings, where people would share the experience slowly and attentively. The careful preparation shows that chocolate was more than food. It was a tool for calming, connecting, and experiencing subtle effects on mood and spirit. This practice demonstrates the creativity and understanding of ancient people, and it explains why chocolate has always had mysterious and special qualities that go beyond simple taste. The Aztecs feared chocolate could trap evil spirits if not prepared correctly. For the Aztecs, chocolate was more than a drink. It had spiritual power. They believed that if it was made or handled incorrectly, It could attract or trap negative energy and evil spirits instead of bringing good fortune. Preparing chocolate required careful steps, including roasting, grinding, and mixing the cacao in a specific order. Special containers and clean utensils were used, and only certain people were allowed to handle it. Any mistake, like spilling the drink or skipping a ritual step, could have serious consequences, according to their beliefs. This fear shows how seriously chocolate was treated. It was not just a beverage. It was a sacred substance capable of influencing both the physical and spiritual world. Knowing this, every sip of ancient chocolate carried more than taste. It carried responsibility and power. Thinking about chocolate this way makes us realize that something so ordinary today was once considered dangerously magical. Chocolate ceremonies sometimes required complete silence to preserve its magic. In certain ancient cultures, drinking chocolate was part of a ritual, and silence was essential. Participants were expected to focus fully on the experience, letting the mind and senses connect with the cacao's spiritual energy. Any noise, laughter, or distraction was thought to weaken the drink's power or interrupt its mystical effect. The silence created an atmosphere of calm and heightened awareness, allowing people to experience chocolate's taste, aroma, and energy in a focused way. Priests often guided these ceremonies, ensuring everyone observed proper behavior and intention. The practice of silence shows that chocolate was more than a food. It was a tool for mindfulness and connection. Even today, thinking about chocolate being consumed in complete silence feels strange but fascinating. It suggests that humans have long recognized chocolate's ability to influence mood, focus, and perception when treated with care and attention. Ancient cacao pots have been found with unusual carvings, suggesting ritualistic use. Archaeologists have discovered pottery used for storing or serving chocolate that is decorated with strange symbols and designs. These carvings were not decorative for fun. They often had spiritual or ceremonial meaning. Some may have represented gods, nature, or protective signs to enhance the drink's power. The pots themselves were treated as sacred objects, sometimes buried or placed in important locations to honor their contents. Their shape, size, and decoration all suggest that chocolate was carefully prepared and consumed in a controlled, meaningful way. The unusual carvings indicate that chocolate was more than a beverage. It was part of a culture with deep ritual significance. Even today, seeing these ancient cacao pots makes us wonder about the ceremonies, beliefs, and experiences people had when drinking chocolate thousands of years ago. The mysterious carvings remind us that chocolate has a hidden history far beyond flavor. Some historians think cacao rituals were an early form of meditation. Historians studying ancient Mesoamerican cultures have noticed that the careful preparation and consumption of chocolate had a calming and focused effect similar to meditation. Participants would drink chocolate slowly, paying attention to taste, aroma, and texture while performing rituals or sitting in quiet reflection. The process encouraged mindfulness and concentration, allowing the mind to clear and focus. Some researchers believe this practice helped people connect with their environment, their community, and their spiritual beliefs. By following precise steps and observing rituals, chocolate became more than food. It became a tool for mental clarity and emotional balance. This idea is fascinating because it suggests that humans recognized chocolate's subtle effects on the mind long before science could explain it. Drinking chocolate with attention and care, as in ancient rituals, may still influence mood and awareness today, showing a deep, mysterious connection between chocolate and the human mind. Chocolate contains over 600 flavor compounds, more than wine or coffee. Most people know chocolate as sweet and delicious, but it is far more complex than that. Scientists have discovered that chocolate has more than 600 individual flavor compounds, which is more than even wine or coffee. These compounds are created during fermentation, roasting, and processing of cacao beans. Each stage brings out new flavors, some earthy, some nutty, some fruity, and some even slightly spicy. This complexity explains why chocolate can taste so different depending on where it comes from or how it is made. Tasting chocolate is almost like exploring a small universe of flavor, where every bite has hidden layers to discover. Even the aroma alone carries hundreds of subtle scents that our brain interprets. Knowing that chocolate is chemically so rich makes every bite a mystery, because what we taste is just the surface of a very deep, flavorful experience. The aroma of chocolate activates the same brain regions as romantic love. Smelling chocolate does more than make your mouth water. Studies have shown that chocolate's aroma stimulates areas of the brain that are also active when a person experiences romantic love. These regions are linked to pleasure, emotion, and reward. That means the simple act of smelling chocolate can trigger feelings of joy, excitement, and comfort. This may be why people often feel calm, happy, or even a little giddy around chocolate. The smell alone can influence mood, long before any chocolate reaches your mouth. This mysterious connection between chocolate and the brain shows how powerful this food is, not just as flavor, but as a sensory experience. The next time you smell chocolate, it's more than memory or sweetness. Your brain is reacting to compounds that can simulate the same pleasure signals involved in human attraction. Cocoa has mild psychoactive properties due to anandamide, a natural bliss molecule. Chocolate contains a chemical called anandamide, which is a naturally occurring compound in the brain that can create feelings of happiness and calm. Anandamide is sometimes called the bliss molecule because it interacts with the same receptors in the brain as cannabinoids, the compounds found in marijuana, but in much smaller and safe amounts. This doesn't make chocolate addictive in the same way drugs can be, but it does give a subtle boost to mood and relaxation. When you eat chocolate, this chemical, along with other compounds, helps trigger pleasure and satisfaction. It can explain why chocolate has long been considered comforting or even magical. The fact that a simple bean can influence brain chemistry in this way adds to its mysterious and almost mystical reputation. Chocolate is more than taste. It quietly influences how we feel, sometimes without us even noticing. Theobromine in chocolate is a subtle stimulant that doesn't feel like caffeine. Chocolate contains a compound called theobromine, which is related to caffeine but much gentler. Unlike coffee or energy drinks, theobromine doesn't create a sudden jolt or make the heart race. Instead, it provides a slow, steady lift in energy and alertness, while also relaxing muscles and improving mood. Ancient people probably experienced this effect without knowing why, feeling more awake and confident after drinking chocolate. Theobromine can also help blood flow and support the heart, making chocolate both enjoyable and subtly healthy. Its mild stimulant effect is one reason chocolate was valued for ceremonies, rituals, and even before battles. It gives energy without anxiety, which may feel almost magical. Understanding theobromine helps explain why chocolate is both comforting and stimulating, a rare combination that makes it unlike most other foods. This secret compound is one of the many ways chocolate quietly affects the mind and body. Eating chocolate slowly tricks your brain into feeling euphoria. When you eat chocolate slowly, your brain has time to notice and react to the complex flavors, textures, and aromas. This careful consumption stimulates pleasure centers in the brain, releasing small amounts of dopamine, which is a chemical that makes you feel happy and satisfied. The longer you savor each bite, the more your brain reacts, creating a feeling similar to mild euphoria. Ancient people may have unknowingly used this technique during rituals, drinking chocolate slowly to enhance its magical effects. Modern research supports this, showing that mindful eating of chocolate can boost mood more than quickly eating sweets. This explains why chocolate is often called comforting and addictive in a positive way. Even the sound of breaking chocolate, its melting sensation in the mouth, and its aroma contribute to the brain's response. Eating slowly transforms chocolate from a snack into an experience that can subtly shift your mood. Chocolate contains phenylethylamine, also called the love chemical. Chocolate has a chemical called phenylethylamine, or P, which is sometimes called the love chemical because it can make people feel excitement, attraction, and happiness. P naturally occurs in the brain during feelings of love or attraction, and eating chocolate adds a small amount to this process. This can create a subtle boost in mood, making people feel more joyful or connected to others. Ancient cultures may have sensed this effect, which is why chocolate was often part of romantic rituals or offered as a gift to loved ones. Unlike stronger drugs, tea in chocolate works slowly and gently, influencing emotions without causing harmful effects. This chemical, combined with the taste, aroma, and texture of chocolate, makes eating it a unique emotional experience. It shows that chocolate is more than flavor. It has a mysterious ability to influence feelings, pleasure, and even human connection. Some compounds in chocolate mimic cannabinoids in the brain. Chocolate contains certain chemicals that behave like cannabinoids, which are the active compounds in cannabis, though much weaker and safe. These compounds can bind to similar receptors in the brain, creating subtle sensations of relaxation, calm, and pleasure. Ancient people may have noticed that chocolate could make them feel lighter, happier, or more focused, even without understanding the science. The combination of these compounds, along with theobromine and phenylethylamine, gives chocolate its unique ability to affect mood, energy, and perception. Unlike strong drugs, chocolate's effects are mild but noticeable, which is why it has long been considered comforting, even magical. Eating chocolate can therefore feel mysterious because it gently changes how we think, feel, and sense the world around us. This hidden chemical power may explain why chocolate was sacred, ritualistic, and sometimes associated with spiritual or mystical experiences. Chocolate quietly works on the brain in ways that are still fascinating today. Chocolate can alter sleep cycles subtly if consumed in small amounts. Eating chocolate in moderation, especially dark chocolate, can influence sleep patterns in unusual ways. Theobromine, caffeine, and other compounds in chocolate can slightly stimulate the brain without keeping you fully awake, which may change the timing or quality of sleep. In small doses, chocolate may even improve alertness before sleep, helping people feel calm but awake enough to reflect, meditate, or relax. Ancient cultures may have unknowingly used chocolate at night to enhance focus or dream experiences. Modern research shows that the mild stimulation of chocolate is very different from coffee. It is slower and more calming, allowing subtle effects on the nervous system. This explains why some people notice that chocolate affects their dreams or helps them feel more relaxed before sleep. Chocolate's ability to influence sleep, mood, and alertness demonstrates its mysterious and almost magical qualities that have fascinated humans for centuries. Dark chocolate triggers microdopamine spikes, giving calm pleasure. When you eat dark chocolate, it stimulates tiny bursts of dopamine in your brain. Dopamine is a chemical that makes you feel happy and satisfied. Unlike stronger stimulants, dark chocolate's effect is slow and subtle, creating a calm and gentle pleasure instead of excitement or jitters. Ancient civilizations likely noticed this effect, and used chocolate in rituals to create calm focus or enjoyment. The combination of flavor, aroma, and texture makes these microdopamine spikes even stronger, subtly lifting mood and creating a sense of well-being. This explains why dark chocolate is often described as comforting, soothing, or even addictive in a positive way. Even a small piece can have noticeable effects on the brain, giving a sense of relaxation. The mysterious way chocolate interacts with brain chemicals shows that it is much more than a sweet treat. It quietly shapes emotion and mental state. Chocolate melts just below body temperature, creating a unique sensory illusion. One of the reasons chocolate feels so special is its physical property. It melts just below the temperature of the human body. This means that as soon as it touches your tongue, it slowly melts and releases flavor in a way that feels almost magical. The melting creates a smooth, creamy sensation that your brain interprets as pure pleasure. This is different from other foods, which may remain solid or dissolve differently. Ancient cultures may have noticed this texture and believed it held mystical qualities, enhancing the experience of drinking chocolate or eating it slowly. The combination of melting, aroma, and taste tricks your senses into a heightened perception of richness and satisfaction. This property makes chocolate feel alive in your mouth, almost like it's interacting with your body directly. The way chocolate melts is a hidden secret that adds to its mysterious allure. The texture of chocolate affects emotional response more than flavor. Research shows that how chocolate feels in your mouth can influence your emotions even more than taste alone. Smooth, creamy chocolate can make you feel calm and satisfied, while grainy or rough textures can reduce pleasure. Ancient chocolate drinks were carefully prepared to create the perfect texture, sometimes using frothing techniques or fine grinding, because the feel was as important as the flavor. The texture activates sensory nerves in the mouth that send signals to the brain, triggering subtle emotional responses. Even today, chocolate lovers notice that a perfectly smooth piece can instantly improve mood. This explains why chocolatiers spend so much time tempering and shaping chocolate to achieve that ideal melt and feel. The texture's effect is a hidden secret of chocolate, showing that the experience of eating it is not just about flavor, but about creating a complete sensory and emotional reaction. Chocolate can lower stress hormones within 30 minutes of consumption. Studies show that eating chocolate, even a small amount, can reduce levels of cortisol, the hormone responsible for stress. This effect can occur in as little as half an hour, making chocolate a quick and natural way to relax. The combination of taste, aroma, and brain-acting chemicals like theobromine and phenylethylamine contributes to this effect. Ancient peoples may have noticed this calming effect and used chocolate in ceremonies to soothe participants or prepare them for spiritual focus. The reduction in stress hormones can improve mood, lower anxiety, and make the body feel more at ease. Even the anticipation of eating chocolate can have a calming effect, showing that its influence is both psychological and physiological. This hidden power explains why chocolate has long been considered more than a treat. It quietly interacts with the body and mind to create relaxation and comfort, giving it a mysterious, almost magical quality. Chocolate releases small bursts of serotonin even before tasting, through smell. One of the most surprising things about chocolate is that simply smelling it can make your brain release small amounts of serotonin, the chemical linked to happiness and calm. This means your brain starts reacting positively even before the chocolate touches your tongue. Ancient people likely noticed this effect when they prepared chocolate drinks or carefully roasted cacao beans, sensing that the aroma itself could create a peaceful or joyful feeling. Modern studies confirm this, showing that chocolate's rich smell can lift mood, reduce stress, and enhance focus. The brain's reaction to chocolate smell may explain why chocolate is often associated with comfort and pleasure. Even a simple whiff can trigger tiny chemical changes, preparing your mind to feel good. This hidden effect makes chocolate more than a treat. It is a sensory experience that engages the mind before the body even enjoys it. Cocoa contains magnesium and iron, which can subtly relax muscles and nerves. Chocolate is not just tasty, it's also packed with nutrients that affect the body in mysterious ways. Magnesium, found naturally in cocoa, is known to relax muscles and calm the nervous system. Iron supports blood flow and energy, helping the body function smoothly. When you eat chocolate, even a small piece, these minerals work quietly to reduce tension and improve mood. Ancient people may have noticed that chocolate could calm the body and make people feel more alert and focused at the same time. Unlike other foods, chocolate combines flavor, aroma, and nutrients in a way that subtly influences both body and mind. The relaxing effect of magnesium and the energy-supporting properties of iron show that chocolate is more than a sweet snack. It has hidden benefits that affect your physical and emotional state. This explains why chocolate has been treasured for centuries for both pleasure and well-being. Microdoses of chocolate can mimic meditation effects on the brain. Eating even a small amount of chocolate can produce effects similar to meditation. The combination of flavor, aroma, and compounds like theobromine, anandamide, and phenylethylamine can create a calm, focused state in the brain. Ancient Mesoamericans may have used chocolate in rituals to help participants concentrate, reflect, or enter a meditative state. Modern research shows that mindful consumption of chocolate, paying attention to taste and texture, triggers the same brain regions involved in meditation and mindfulness. This means chocolate can improve focus, reduce stress, and create subtle feelings of mental clarity. Even a small piece consumed slowly can affect the nervous system, helping people feel present and calm. This mysterious property shows that chocolate is more than a snack or comfort food. It can act as a natural aid for mental relaxation and emotional balance, a hidden tool humans have enjoyed for thousands of years. Some researchers claim chocolate enhances dream vividness. Certain compounds in chocolate, including theobromine, caffeine, and small amounts of psychoactive molecules like anandamide, may influence sleep and dream experiences. People who consume chocolate, especially before bed in small amounts, sometimes report that their dreams become more vivid, memorable, or emotionally intense. Ancient cultures may have noticed this effect during night rituals or quiet reflection, believing chocolate could help connect the mind to the spiritual or subconscious world. Modern scientists are studying how chocolate's chemicals interact with brain activity during sleep, suggesting that it can subtly alter REM cycles, the stage when dreams are most vivid. Even a tiny piece of chocolate can make your dreams feel more colorful, imaginative, or emotional. This mysterious influence on the subconscious shows that chocolate is more than flavor. It interacts with the mind in ways we are only beginning to understand. Chocolate can affect both waking and dreaming states, making it a truly magical food across time. Chocolate has light hallucinogenic-like effects when extremely dark and pure. Extremely dark, high cacao chocolate contains certain compounds, like anandamide and tiny amounts of phenylethylamine, that can influence the brain in unusual ways. When consumed in very pure form, some people report mild changes in perception, a sense of heightened awareness, or a strange, dreamy feeling. These effects are nowhere near strong drugs. They are subtle and safe, but they have been noticed for centuries. Ancient cultures may have even used highly concentrated chocolate in spiritual rituals to enhance mental focus, vision, or connection to the divine. The combination of flavor, aroma, and chemical compounds creates a unique experience that can feel almost mystical. Eating very dark chocolate slowly allows the brain to respond fully to these compounds, giving a gentle, mind-altering sensation. This mysterious property adds to chocolate's long history as more than food, showing why it has been treated as magical and sacred in many cultures. The antioxidant flavonols in chocolate can increase blood flow to the brain, improving clarity. Chocolate is rich in natural compounds called flavonols, which are antioxidants that support the body in surprising ways. One of their benefits is improving blood flow, especially to the brain. Better circulation delivers more oxygen and nutrients to brain cells, which can boost mental clarity, focus, and cognitive performance. This means eating chocolate doesn't just make you feel happy. It can also subtly enhance thinking and alertness. Ancient civilizations may not have understood the science, but they observed that chocolate made people feel more energized, attentive, and mentally sharp. Modern research confirms these effects, showing that flavonols help memory, reaction time, and overall brain health. Even a small piece of chocolate can contribute to this subtle improvement. The mysterious combination of pleasure and brain stimulation makes chocolate one of the few foods that satisfies taste while also enhancing mental function. Chocolate can mask bitterness in other foods, tricking taste perception. Chocolate contains natural sugars, fats, and aromatic compounds that can change how the brain interprets other tastes. When eaten alongside bitter foods, chocolate can make them seem sweeter, smoother, or less harsh. This effect is not just taste. It's a sensory trick that confuses the brain into perceiving balance and pleasure where it might not naturally exist. Ancient cultures may have noticed this, mixing chocolate with spices or flowers to make challenging flavors more enjoyable. Modern chefs use this property to pair chocolate with bitter fruits, coffee, or nuts, creating surprising flavor combinations. The ability of chocolate to alter taste perception explains why it is so versatile and beloved. It is a food that can manipulate the senses, subtly influencing how we feel about what we eat. This hidden trick adds another layer to chocolate's mysterious qualities and helps explain its timeless appeal. Tiny variations in cocoa fermentation can completely change perceived flavor and mood. The way cacao beans are fermented after harvesting has a huge impact on the final taste and even the experience of eating chocolate. Small changes in temperature, humidity, or fermentation time can bring out flavors that range from fruity and floral to earthy, bitter, or nutty. These variations also influence chemical compounds that affect the brain, subtly shifting mood, focus, and pleasure. Ancient chocolate makers may have unknowingly observed this, selecting beans carefully and creating unique blends for rituals, ceremonies, or special occasions. Modern chocolate makers use precise fermentation techniques to control flavor and mood effects. But even today, tiny differences can surprise both taste and mental response. This shows that chocolate is a living food, influenced by nature and process in ways that can change its impact on both the senses and the brain. Its mysterious variability is part of what makes chocolate endlessly fascinating and magical. Chocolate has been used historically as a treatment for snake bites. In some ancient cultures, chocolate was believed to have medicinal properties that could counteract toxins from snake bites. While modern medicine does not use chocolate for this purpose, historical records suggest that people would mix cacao with herbs, spices, or water, and apply it as a drink or paste to calm the body after a bite. The belief likely came from chocolate's stimulating and mood-lifting effects, which may have helped people stay conscious and alert while seeking help. Ancient healers considered chocolate a rare and powerful remedy because it came from the sacred cacao bean, and it was treated with respect in preparation. The ritual of preparing and consuming chocolate in these cases may have added to its perceived effectiveness, combining belief, care, and chemical properties. This unusual historical use shows that chocolate was considered more than food. It was a mysterious tool for survival and well-being. In the 17th century, chocolate was prescribed for depression and melancholy. When chocolate first reached Europe, physicians and scholars believed it could treat mental and emotional problems. People suffering from sadness, low energy, or what they called melancholy, were often advised to drink chocolate daily. The bitter cacao was sometimes mixed with sugar, spices, or milk to improve taste while keeping its medicinal power. Chocolate's compounds, including caffeine, theobromine, and phenylethylamine, could lift mood, increase alertness, and subtly calm the nervous system. Doctors recommended chocolate because it combined pleasure, nutrition, and mild stimulation in one drink. Wealthy households kept it on hand for health purposes, not just enjoyment. This historical use shows that chocolate has long been valued for effects beyond flavor. It can influence mood and emotional state. Even today, eating chocolate can create small chemical changes in the brain that make people feel happier, which explains why it was once thought to have near-magical antidepressant properties. Some believed chocolate warded off fatigue after spiritual rituals. In many ancient civilizations, participating in ceremonies or rituals could be exhausting, both physically and mentally. Chocolate was often given to participants afterward to restore energy and focus. The combination of cacao's stimulating compounds, nutrients, and rich calories provided a quick source of strength while also lifting mood. Priests and leaders may have observed that consuming chocolate helped people recover faster from long ceremonies, maintaining alertness and calm. The effect was subtle but noticeable, and it reinforced the idea that chocolate was a powerful and sacred food. Even though the exact science was unknown, ancient people recognized its benefits for endurance and recovery. This historical practice shows that chocolate was not just a treat. It had functional, almost magical roles in society, supporting both body and mind. Its ability to revive energy while calming the spirit is one of the many reasons it has fascinated humans for centuries. Chocolate was once part of royal love potions. Throughout history, chocolate has been associated with romance, desire, and emotional influence. In certain European courts, chocolate drinks were included in love potions believed to increase attraction, passion, or affection. The compounds in chocolate, such as phenylethylamine and theobromine, can subtly lift mood, increase alertness, and create feelings of pleasure, which may have made people more receptive to emotions of love. Kings, queens, and nobles sometimes served chocolate to their partners or secret admirers during private gatherings, believing it could strengthen romantic bonds. Even though this may seem like superstition today, the combination of flavor, aroma, and mild brain-stimulating effects likely contributed to the experience. Chocolate's inclusion in love potions shows that it has long been considered more than food. It was a tool for influencing emotions, creating connection, and adding mystery to human relationships. This romantic association continues today, making chocolate a symbol of love and desire. In Europe, chocolate was considered a luxury that could prevent evil spirits. When chocolate first arrived in Europe in the 16th and 17th centuries, it was extremely rare and expensive, only affordable to kings, nobles, and wealthy families. Beyond being a luxury item, many Europeans believed chocolate had protective powers. Some thought that consuming chocolate could keep away bad luck, negative energy, or even evil spirits. Its bitter, Rich taste and exotic origin made it seem magical and mysterious, especially since it came from faraway lands like the Americas. Chocolate was carefully prepared, often mixed with sugar, spices, or milk, and served in special cups during private gatherings. People sometimes carried small amounts as a talisman, believing it could protect them. This belief shows that chocolate's influence went beyond taste or nutrition. It was considered a mystical tool for mental and spiritual well-being. Its status as both a luxury and a protective substance added to the fascination and reverence surrounding it in early Europe. Cocoa butter has been used as a skin balm for centuries. Cocoa butter, the fat extracted from cacao beans, has long been prized for its ability to soften and nourish skin. Ancient people in Mesoamerica discovered that it could be applied directly to skin to prevent dryness, heal minor cuts, or even protect against harsh weather. European settlers later adopted this practice, and it became a foundation for creams, lotions, and cosmetics. Cocoa butter absorbs slowly and has a smooth, pleasant texture, making it ideal for moisturizing. Beyond its practical use, it was also considered luxurious, adding a sensory and almost magical quality to daily life. Today, cocoa butter is still valued in skincare for its hydration, mild aroma, and protective qualities. This shows that chocolate's benefits are not limited to eating. It has a long history of enhancing comfort, beauty, and health through external application, adding another layer to its mysterious and treasured reputation. In some cultures, chocolate was offered to spirits during harvest ceremonies. In ancient agricultural societies, cacao was sacred, and people believed spirits played a key role in ensuring successful harvests. Chocolate or cacao drinks were sometimes offered as gifts or sacrifices to these spirits, thanking them or asking for protection and abundance. The beverage could be mixed with flowers, spices, or other ritual ingredients to make it suitable for ceremonial purposes. These offerings were carefully prepared, often in silence or with chants, highlighting chocolate's spiritual importance. By including chocolate in rituals, people symbolically connected the fertility of the land with the richness of the cacao. Even though the spiritual effects may seem mysterious today, the practice shows that chocolate was more than food. It was a link between humans, nature, and the unseen world. Its use in harvest ceremonies reinforces its ancient reputation as a sacred and magical substance, capable of influencing life, growth, and prosperity. Chocolate has been melted and used as a medium for art, even on human bodies. Beyond eating, chocolate has fascinated humans as a material for creativity. Its unique texture and ability to melt smoothly made it ideal for sculpting, painting, and decorative purposes. In some cultures, melted chocolate was used to create edible sculptures, decorate cakes, or even apply designs to the human body during celebrations. This practice combined sensory pleasure with visual art, turning chocolate into a medium that engaged multiple senses at once. The combination of smell, touch, and taste made chocolate art immersive and almost magical. Modern chocolatiers continue this tradition, creating intricate sculptures and artistic desserts. This creative use of chocolate shows its versatility and enduring allure. It is not just a food or luxury item. It can become a mysterious tool for self-expression and aesthetic wonder, highlighting why chocolate has been admired, treasured, and even revered for centuries. Chocolate coins were sometimes imbued with protective charms. In parts of Europe and Mesoamerica, chocolate shaped into coins was not just a sweet treat, it was considered a powerful talisman. People believed that these chocolate coins could protect against misfortune, negative energy, or even evil spirits. They were often given during festivals, celebrations, or important life events, combining both food and symbolic magic. Some coins were stamped with special symbols or inscriptions to enhance their protective qualities. The act of carrying, gifting, or consuming these coins created a connection between the person and the perceived power of the chocolate. Even today, chocolate coins are used in celebrations like holidays, subtly echoing the ancient belief in their charm-like quality. This practice demonstrates how chocolate has always carried meaning beyond taste, linking the physical pleasure of eating with spiritual and cultural significance, making it an object of mystery, delight, and protection. Ancient cacao drinks sometimes contained exotic ingredients like tobacco and vanilla beans. In Mesoamerican cultures, chocolate was rarely consumed plain. Ancient people experimented with adding a variety of ingredients, creating complex beverages. Tobacco leaves, vanilla beans, chili peppers, and flowers were sometimes mixed with cacao to enhance flavor and create specific effects. Tobacco may have added a mild stimulating effect, while vanilla provided sweetness and aroma. These combinations were often reserved for ceremonial use or for the elite, highlighting the sacred nature of chocolate. Each additive could alter not only the taste, but also the perceived spiritual or emotional effect of the drink. The creativity and experimentation reveal how cacao was treated as a powerful, versatile substance. By combining it with exotic ingredients, ancient people crafted beverages that were both pleasurable and mysterious. This practice shows that chocolate has always been more than a food. It is a cultural artifact, a sensory adventure, and a tool for ritual and experience. Chocolate can suppress coughing slightly due to theobromine. Modern science has discovered that chocolate contains a compound called theobromine, which has mild medicinal properties. One surprising effect is that it can reduce coughing by affecting nerves that trigger the cough reflex. Unlike typical cough medicine, chocolate does this subtly, making it a gentle and natural remedy. Historically, people may have noticed that eating chocolate or drinking cacao drinks seemed to calm irritation in the throat, long before anyone understood the chemistry behind it. The combination of taste, texture, and chemical effect made chocolate both comforting and effective for minor ailments. Even today, some studies suggest that dark chocolate or cacao extracts can help suppress chronic coughing. This hidden property adds another layer to chocolate's mysterious powers. It is not just enjoyable, but also quietly beneficial to the body, showing that a simple treat can hold unexpected and practical effects. The texture of chocolate can create a subtle placebo effect on relaxation. Eating chocolate is not only about taste. The way it feels in your mouth can influence your emotions and physiological responses. Smooth, creamy chocolate stimulates sensory nerves, sending signals to the brain that create a feeling of calm and satisfaction. Even if you are not consciously aware, the rich texture can trick your mind into relaxing, similar to a mild placebo effect. Ancient people likely noticed this when preparing chocolate carefully for rituals or daily enjoyment, understanding that texture mattered as much as flavor. The slow melting of chocolate and the way it coats the tongue amplifies these calming signals. This explains why chocolate often makes people feel comforted, soothed, or content, even if they are not hungry or tasting extreme sweetness. Its ability to influence relaxation through texture adds to its mysterious and almost magical qualities, showing that chocolate engages the body and mind in subtle ways. Chocolate baths were once a spa treatment in royal Europe. In the 17th and 18th centuries, European royals discovered that chocolate wasn't just for eating, it could also be used in baths. Hot chocolate mixtures were poured into tubs for nobles to soak in, believing it would soften the skin, improve circulation, and rejuvenate the body. The rich aroma and smooth texture created a luxurious sensory experience, while the natural fats in cacao, like cocoa butter, nourished the skin. Some believed that chocolate baths had almost magical properties, lifting the spirit and calming the mind. These baths were rare and expensive, reserved for the wealthy elite who could afford imported cacao. The practice shows that chocolate was treated as a multisensory luxury, not just a food. Even today, the idea of chocolate as a spa treatment feels indulgent and mysterious, highlighting the long history of humans experimenting with cacao for both pleasure and wellness. Chocolate is sometimes used in aromatherapy to reduce anxiety. Beyond being eaten, chocolate is valued for its scent. The rich, complex aroma of chocolate can influence the brain in subtle ways, activating pleasure centers and calming regions. Aromatherapists sometimes use chocolate-scented oils, candles, or diffusers to reduce stress, improve mood, and create a comforting environment. The smell alone can trigger the release of small amounts of serotonin and dopamine, chemicals linked to happiness and relaxation. Ancient civilizations may not have had modern aromatherapy, but they recognized the calming power of chocolate aroma during rituals and ceremonies. The brain's response to chocolate scent is mysterious yet measurable, showing how deeply humans connect with food through smell. Even without tasting it, chocolate can create an emotional and physiological effect, making it a tool for mental well-being. This hidden power reinforces chocolate's reputation as a magical substance that influences mind, mood, and senses. In some parts of the world, chocolate was mixed with medicinal herbs for mysterious health effects. Throughout history, chocolate has been treated as both food and medicine. Ancient Mesoamericans and early Europeans sometimes combined cacao with herbs, roots, and spices believed to heal ailments or boost vitality. Ingredients like cinnamon, chili, ginseng, or even flowers were added to chocolate drinks to create powerful remedies. These mixtures were often consumed during rituals, ceremonies, or private healing sessions. People believed that chocolate could improve digestion, increase energy, lift mood, or even protect against illness. While modern science can explain some of these effects through compounds like theobromine, flavonols, and magnesium, ancient practices highlight the mysterious perception of chocolate as a magical, functional substance. This use of chocolate shows that it was more than a treat. It was an agent of health and spiritual well-being. The combination of ritual, flavor, and chemistry made chocolate a powerful, almost mystical tool in human culture for centuries. Chocolate was historically hidden in secret compartments to prevent theft. In the past, cacao and chocolate were extremely valuable, often more expensive than gold in certain societies. Merchants, nobles, and households took extraordinary precautions to protect their supplies. Chocolate was sometimes stored in secret compartments, locked chests, or hidden jars to prevent thieves from stealing it. The rarity and value of cacao made it a target for crime, so careful storage was essential. Some families even created coded symbols or rituals to mark the chocolate, reinforcing its sacred and precious status. Beyond its economic value, chocolate was treated as a magical substance, so hiding it also protected its perceived spiritual power. These secret storage practices show just how prized chocolate was, and why it became a symbol of wealth, luxury, and mystery. The lengths people went to protect cacao highlight its historical importance, turning a simple food into a rare and almost mystical treasure. Cocoa pods were often painted or carved with mystical symbols. In ancient Mesoamerican cultures, cocoa pods were treated as sacred objects, not just as food. People sometimes painted them with bright colors or carved mystical symbols before harvesting or offering them in rituals. These symbols could represent gods, nature, or spiritual protection. The decoration was not just for beauty. It was a way to honor the cacao tree and acknowledge its perceived connection to divine forces. The belief was that the cacao itself held spiritual power, and decorating the pods enhanced that energy. Even the preparation and presentation of cocoa became a ceremonial act, reinforcing its sacred role in society. These practices show that chocolate was far more than a snack. It was a spiritual tool, a cultural treasure, and a mysterious object of fascination. The attention given to cacao pods reveals how humans have long intertwined chocolate with ritual, symbolism, and the unseen world. Chocolate in powdered form was used as a ritual offering in ancient temples. In some ancient civilizations, cacao was ground into a fine powder and used as an offering to deities during religious ceremonies. This powdered chocolate was often combined with spices, flowers, or other sacred ingredients to enhance its symbolic and spiritual power. Priests or temple attendants carefully prepared it, sometimes chanting or performing rituals while making the offering. The act of giving chocolate to the gods was believed to ensure protection, fertility, or prosperity for the community. Powdered chocolate's fine texture allowed it to be sprinkled, poured, or mixed in sacred liquids, making it versatile for ceremonial use. This ritual practice emphasizes that chocolate was more than food. It was a bridge between humans and the spiritual realm. Its sacred use in temples shows how cacao carried symbolic, emotional, and mystical significance for centuries, creating a legacy of chocolate as both nourishment and magic. Chocolate can temporarily boost alertness without overstimulation, almost like a subtle trance. Chocolate contains compounds like theobromine, caffeine, and phenylethylamine, which can enhance alertness without causing the jittery effects common with coffee or energy drinks. When consumed in moderate amounts, chocolate produces a gentle stimulation that sharpens focus, lifts mood, and improves mental clarity. Ancient people may have noticed this effect during rituals, work, or ceremonies, using chocolate to maintain awareness without fatigue. The subtle energy boost can feel almost trance-like because it calms the nervous system while keeping the mind attentive. Unlike strong stimulants, chocolate's effect is smooth, prolonged, and pleasurable, making it feel mysterious. This property is one reason chocolate has been considered magical. It can influence both body and mind in ways that seem hidden or secret. Eating chocolate slowly allows these compounds to work gradually, creating a unique combination of calm and alertness that continues to fascinate humans today. The smell of chocolate activates emotional memory centers, making it strangely nostalgic. Chocolate's aroma is powerful because it directly stimulates parts of the brain linked to emotion and memory, particularly the amygdala and hippocampus. This means smelling chocolate can instantly bring back memories, emotions, or feelings from the past, sometimes without conscious effort. Even if you haven't eaten chocolate in years, its scent can trigger feelings of comfort, happiness, or nostalgia. Ancient people likely recognized the mood-altering power of chocolate aroma, using it in rituals or special ceremonies to create emotional effects. Modern research confirms that sensory experiences, like smell, can strongly influence memory and mood. Chocolate's unique combination of aroma, taste, and texture makes it a multisensory tool that interacts with both body and mind. This mysterious property explains why chocolate is associated with comfort, celebration, and ritual. It can awaken hidden emotions and memories, creating a sense of connection that is both sensory and psychological. In Japan, chocolate is sometimes infused with sake or tea for mysterious flavors. Japanese chocolatiers have experimented with combining chocolate with traditional beverages like sake, green tea, and matcha, creating unique taste experiences that are both surprising and subtle. The alcohol in sake or the delicate bitterness of tea interacts with chocolate's natural sweetness and richness, producing flavors that evolve on the tongue. This fusion creates a mysterious effect because the brain perceives multiple sensory layers at once: aroma, flavor, texture, and temperature, all interacting in complex ways. Ancient chocolate cultures valued experimentation with ingredients, and modern Japanese techniques echo this tradition, treating chocolate almost like a magical medium. These combinations can evoke curiosity, delight, and emotional responses, showing that chocolate's appeal goes beyond simple sweetness. By blending chocolate with culturally significant drinks, Japanese artisans continue the long tradition of making chocolate not just food but a mysterious, multi-sensory experience that surprises and captivates anyone who tastes it. Some African tribes roast cacao over ritualistic fires for symbolic energy. In several African communities where cacao is cultivated, roasting beans is not purely a cooking step. It is a ritual. Tribes often use fire ceremonies to roast cacao while chanting or performing specific movements, believing that this process transfers spiritual energy to the beans. The heat releases rich aromas that fill the air, signaling the transformation of raw cacao into something powerful and sacred. Consuming chocolate prepared this way was thought to provide not just physical nourishment, but also emotional and spiritual energy. The ritual emphasizes the deep connection between nature, human culture, and the mystical qualities attributed to chocolate. Even today, these practices continue to highlight cacao's role as a symbolic, almost magical substance. By understanding these rituals, we see that chocolate has always been more than food. It carries history, culture, and energy, making each bite or sip a continuation of centuries-old traditions filled with mystery and meaning. In Switzerland, chocolate has been sculpted into miniature clocks and mystic symbols. Swiss chocolatiers are known for precision, artistry, and creativity. Beyond making bars and truffles, some artisans sculpt chocolate into intricate designs like miniature clocks, astrological symbols, and other mysterious shapes. These creations are not just decorative. They reflect the idea that chocolate can carry meaning, tell stories, and evoke emotions. The craftsmanship requires patience, skill, and understanding of chocolate's unique properties, such as how it melts and hardens. Chocolate sculptures also engage multiple senses: sight, touch, and even smell, making the experience almost magical. This practice connects back to ancient traditions where chocolate was more than food. It was used in rituals, ceremonies, and symbolic acts. By transforming chocolate into art, Swiss chocolatiers continue this legacy, turning a beloved treat into a mysterious object of admiration. Each sculpture tells a story, revealing chocolate's capacity to inspire creativity, awe, and curiosity across centuries and cultures. Belgium hosts chocolate workshops that mimic ancient alchemy techniques. In Belgium, chocolate workshops often teach participants how to temper, melt, and mold chocolate in ways that resemble the careful, almost mystical methods of ancient alchemists. The process emphasizes precision, timing, and transformation, turning raw cacao into glossy, perfectly textured chocolate. Workshop participants observe how chocolate changes with heat, cooling, and manipulation, creating a sense of wonder and discovery. These workshops highlight chocolate's magical qualities, its ability to change form, texture, and flavor while engaging the senses. Just as ancient cultures believed chocolate had spiritual and mystical power, modern workshops treat chocolate as more than a treat. It becomes an object of curiosity, experimentation, and creation. Participants often feel a connection to centuries of chocolate craftsmanship, sensing the mysterious power of cacao as it transforms. Belgium's approach shows that chocolate's allure continues to blend science, art, and tradition, keeping its magical, multisensory legacy alive for anyone willing to explore it. Some European chocolatiers claim hidden aromas are deliberately manipulated for mood effects. Modern chocolatiers in Europe have discovered that chocolate's aroma is more than just a pleasant smell. It can influence how people feel. Certain scents can be enhanced or muted through careful roasting, conching, and blending, creating chocolate that subtly lifts mood, calms nerves, or even sparks curiosity. The changes are often so subtle that most people do not consciously notice them, yet the brain responds to these aromas with emotional reactions. This technique echoes ancient practices where chocolate was carefully prepared to produce specific psychological effects, combining pleasure with subtle influence over the mind. By deliberately manipulating these hidden aromas, chocolatiers create a multi-layered experience that engages taste, smell, and emotion. This demonstrates that chocolate is not only a food, it is a tool for mood, sensation, and even perception, showing how deeply humans have explored cacao's mysterious powers over centuries. In Ghana, cacao ceremonies can last entire nights with rhythmic chanting. In certain Ghanaian communities, cacao is treated as sacred, and ceremonies around it are immersive and elaborate. These rituals can last through the night, with participants chanting, drumming, and performing symbolic movements around roasted cacao beans. The combination of repetitive rhythm, aroma, and communal energy creates a powerful atmosphere that heightens alertness, emotion, and connection. Chocolate prepared and consumed in this context is more than nourishment. It is part of a spiritual experience. Ancient people believed these ceremonies could connect them to ancestral spirits, nature, or divine forces. The long duration of these rituals emphasizes patience, respect, and attentiveness, turning cacao into a bridge between the physical and the mystical. Observers or participants often report feeling a heightened sense of focus, energy, or calm, illustrating chocolate's mysterious power to influence both body and mind during ritualized practices. Certain chocolate bars are aged like wine to enhance flavor complexity. Some modern chocolatiers store chocolate under carefully controlled conditions for months or even years, much like fine wine or cheese. During this aging process, subtle chemical changes occur in the cacao, enhancing depth, richness, and complexity of flavor. The aroma can intensify, and hidden notes, such as floral, fruity, or earthy hints, become more noticeable. Aging can also subtly influence the mood effect of chocolate, making it feel richer, more luxurious, and more calming. Ancient cultures may not have had modern storage, but they understood that preparation and time could transform chocolate into something extraordinary. By aging chocolate, artisans create an experience that is more than eating. It is tasting history, craft, and sensory magic. This process highlights chocolate's mysterious ability to change over time, deepening the connection between its physical properties and its emotional or psychological impact. Chocolate-covered insects exist, linking ancient cacao rituals with entomophagy. In some cultures, insects are a traditional food, and combining them with chocolate is both a nod to history and a culinary experiment. Ancient Mesoamericans sometimes included insects in cacao drinks and dishes, considering them nutritious and spiritually significant. Today, chocolate-covered insects are a rare delicacy that combines protein, texture, and cacao's sweetness. Eating them can be a mysterious sensory experience because the brain processes both the unusual texture and the familiar taste of chocolate simultaneously. This combination highlights how chocolate can adapt to different cultures and culinary traditions while maintaining its magical and ritualistic connotations. By including insects, chocolatiers connect modern cuisine with ancient practices, emphasizing chocolate's historical versatility. It shows that chocolate is more than comfort food. It has always been a medium for experimentation, ritual, and sometimes even daring sensory adventure, linking past and present in unexpected ways. Some chocolatiers experiment with salt from volcanic lakes to create unusual flavors. Modern chocolate makers sometimes add salt sourced from volcanic lakes to their chocolate, creating a surprising combination of taste and aroma. The mineral-rich salt enhances sweetness, emphasizes natural bitterness, and introduces an earthy note that is both unusual and intriguing. The process requires careful balance, because too much salt can overpower chocolate's subtle flavors. This experimental approach reflects a centuries-old fascination with blending natural elements to create sensory effects beyond simple taste. The addition of volcanic salt not only changes flavor, but also adds a mysterious sense of place, connecting the chocolate to the power and uniqueness of the earth itself. Consumers often describe the experience as strange yet compelling, highlighting chocolate's capacity to surprise and intrigue. This practice shows that chocolate is more than food. It is a medium for creativity, exploration, and even subtle emotional influence, making each bite an adventure in taste and perception. Chocolate festivals often have midnight tasting to experience its relaxing effects fully. At some chocolate festivals around the world, organizers host tasting sessions late at night, sometimes called midnight tastings, to explore chocolate's calming and mood-altering effects. Eating chocolate in a quiet, focused setting allows the brain to respond fully to its aroma, flavor, and chemical compounds. The slow melting and smooth texture create pleasure signals that can feel deeply relaxing. These tastings are often done in dim light or with soft music, enhancing the sensory experience and creating an almost ritualistic atmosphere. Ancient cultures may have unknowingly used chocolate in similar ways during late-night ceremonies, combining its taste with focus, meditation, or celebration. By hosting chocolate at night, these festivals highlight its mysterious ability to influence mood, calm the mind, and create a multisensory experience. It reminds us that chocolate is more than a treat. It is a tool for emotional and sensory exploration. Ancient chocolate was thought to predict future events when consumed at specific times. In some Mesoamerican and early European traditions, chocolate was believed to hold mystical powers that could reveal hidden knowledge. Drinking chocolate at particular times, often during ceremonies or before sleep, was thought to enhance intuition, dreams, or visions about future events. The experience may have been influenced by chocolate's mild stimulant properties, which can heighten alertness and dream vividness. Combined with ritual, meditation, or observation, these practices created a sense of mystery and foresight. The belief in chocolate's predictive powers shows that it was seen as more than food. It was a tool for mental, spiritual, and emotional exploration. Even today, chocolate is associated with introspection and relaxation, subtly influencing thoughts and feelings. This historical use reminds us that humans have long connected chocolate to magic, mystery, and the unseen, treating every sip as a possible doorway to insight, emotion, or hidden knowledge. The single origin chocolate trend emphasizes mystery of geography and flavor. Modern chocolate makers often produce single-origin chocolate, which comes from cacao beans harvested from a specific region or even a single farm. This approach highlights how geography, soil, climate, and cultivation methods create unique flavors, aromas, and textures. Tasting single-origin chocolate allows people to experience subtle differences that might be invisible in mass-produced blends. The flavor can be fruity, nutty, floral, or earthy, often with surprising complexity. The trend emphasizes chocolate as a mysterious and expressive product of nature, connecting taste to place and history. Ancient cacao cultures may have noticed similar distinctions when selecting beans for ceremonies or trade, associating certain regions with superior or mystical chocolate. Single-origin chocolate today allows modern consumers to explore this sense of place, turning each bite into a journey. It shows that chocolate is more than a snack. It is a sensory exploration of geography, culture, and mystery. Chocolate can be paired with unexpected spices like black garlic for subtle brain stimulation. Modern chocolatiers experiment with unusual ingredients like black garlic, chili, or smoked spices to create surprising flavor combinations. Black garlic, for instance, has a deep, sweet-savory taste that interacts with chocolate's natural richness. Beyond flavor, some believe these combinations can stimulate the brain in subtle ways, enhancing focus, alertness, or emotional response. The unusual pairing creates a mysterious sensory experience, because the brain tries to reconcile familiar chocolate with an unexpected taste, producing curiosity and delight. This echoes ancient traditions where cacao was mixed with peppers, flowers, or other uncommon ingredients to create effects beyond taste. By pairing chocolate with unconventional spices, artisans show that chocolate is more than a dessert. It is a medium for exploration, experimentation, and subtle psychological influence. Each bite becomes an adventure, engaging the senses and mind in ways that are both pleasurable and mysterious. The scent of chocolate in a room can alter people's perception of time. Chocolate has a powerful aroma that can influence the brain even before tasting. Studies and anecdotal observations show that simply smelling chocolate can make people feel relaxed, focused, or more attentive, which can subtly alter how they perceive the passing of time. In a calm environment, the scent may make time feel slower, creating a sense of lingering pleasure, while in a busy environment it can create brief moments of calm and mindfulness. Ancient cultures may have used chocolate's aroma in ceremonies for this effect, enhancing focus, meditation, or ritual timing. Modern chocolatiers and sensory scientists recognize that chocolate engages both memory and emotional centers in the brain, making it a tool for manipulating mood and perception. The ability to influence something as abstract as time demonstrates chocolate's mysterious power, showing it affects not only taste and pleasure, but also cognitive and emotional experience. Some chocolatiers claim chocolate has a third dimension of taste felt in the mind. Beyond the familiar flavors of sweet, bitter, and savory, some chocolate experts describe a third dimension of taste, a subtle mental perception that occurs when chocolate engages the brain fully. This dimension is not just about flavor on the tongue. It involves aroma, texture, melting, and even memory, combining to create a holistic, almost mysterious experience. Ancient cacao rituals may have unintentionally activated this perception by combining chocolate with silence, meditation, or ritualistic focus. The brain interprets chocolate as more than food, producing sensations that feel expansive, layered, or even spiritual. Modern chocolate tasters often describe this as a mental taste or sensation of depth that goes beyond ordinary eating. This property demonstrates chocolate's unique ability to connect physical and mental perception, showing that each bite can evoke complex emotional, sensory, and cognitive responses, revealing the almost magical qualities humans have long associated with cacao. Chocolate can be combined with sound frequencies to enhance relaxation. Some modern experiments use chocolate alongside specific sound frequencies or music to enhance relaxation and emotional response. The smooth texture, aroma, and flavor of chocolate stimulate the senses, while carefully chosen sounds can synchronize with brainwave activity, increasing calm, pleasure, and focus. Ancient cultures may have unknowingly achieved similar effects during rituals, combining chocolate with chanting, drumming, or rhythmic music. The combination engages multiple senses at once, creating an immersive and almost trance-like experience. Even a small piece of chocolate, when paired with the right sound, can subtly influence heart rate, stress levels, and mood. This illustrates chocolate's mysterious power as more than food. It can be part of multisensory experiences that touch mind, body, and spirit simultaneously. Chocolate combined with sound becomes a tool for relaxation, meditation, and sensory exploration, deepening its long history as a mystical and transformative substance. Certain chocolate molds are shaped to align with hand energy points. Some chocolatiers craft chocolate using molds that correspond to points on the hands, believed to carry energy or influence in subtle ways. When holding or eating chocolate made from these molds, the idea is that the energy points interact with the cocoa's natural properties, enhancing relaxation, focus, or mood. This approach draws inspiration from ancient practices where objects were shaped and prepared to align with spiritual or physical energy. The molds are often designed with geometric shapes, lines, or symbols, which add an extra layer of sensory and symbolic interaction. Eating chocolate from these molds engages both touch and taste, making the experience more immersive. While it may sound mystical, studies show that intentional interaction with objects can influence perception and emotional response. By combining chocolate with the concept of energy points, artisans create a unique sensory experience, revealing chocolate's mysterious potential beyond flavor alone. Chocolate sculptures have been used in secret ceremonial competitions. Throughout history, chocolate has been a medium for skill, creativity, and even hidden contests. Some societies, both ancient and modern, have organized secret competitions where participants craft intricate chocolate sculptures. These competitions are often ceremonial, with rules, rituals, and symbolic meanings attached to the process. The sculptures may include mystical symbols, representations of animals, or abstract forms meant to convey power, wisdom, or beauty. Participants not only compete for skill, but also for the ability to evoke emotional or spiritual responses in observers. The secrecy adds an element of intrigue, emphasizing chocolate's historical connection to ritual, luxury, and mystery. By transforming chocolate into art, these competitions highlight its versatility as more than food. The practice reveals how humans have long recognized chocolate's unique combination of taste, texture, and visual appeal, creating an experience that can delight, challenge, and even subtly influence perception. Chocolate can influence subconscious mood without conscious tasting. Research and observation show that chocolate can affect the brain even before it is eaten. Simply seeing, smelling, or handling chocolate can trigger emotional responses, release pleasure chemicals like dopamine, and subtly alter mood. The subconscious mind processes chocolate as a signal of reward, comfort, or relaxation, creating a mysterious psychological effect. Ancient cultures may have recognized this effect when using chocolate in rituals, preparing it in silence, or presenting it visually during ceremonies. Even if someone does not consciously taste it, chocolate's presence can soothe anxiety, lift spirits, or create curiosity. This ability highlights chocolate's power to engage the mind on multiple levels: sensory, emotional, and cognitive. It demonstrates that chocolate is more than a treat. It is a tool that interacts with human perception, mood, and subconscious processes. Its influence goes beyond flavor, making chocolate an almost magical substance that affects mind and body in subtle, unseen ways. Some chocolate tasting experiences are designed to slowly induce trance-like calm. Modern chocolate tastings often take inspiration from ancient rituals, carefully controlling environment, pace, and sensory engagement to produce deep relaxation. Participants may eat chocolate slowly, focusing on texture, aroma, and flavor while listening to soft music or remaining in a dimly lit space. The slow, deliberate process engages multiple senses simultaneously, allowing the brain to respond with calmness, pleasure, and reduced stress. Certain compounds in chocolate, like theobromine and phenylethylamine, enhance these effects by subtly stimulating the nervous system while maintaining relaxation. The experience can feel almost trance-like, as attention narrows to the sensory qualities of the chocolate. Ancient civilizations may have unknowingly induced similar states during cacao ceremonies, combining meditation, ritual, and cacao's natural properties. These tasting experiences show that chocolate can be more than nourishment. It is a tool for sensory exploration, emotional regulation, and immersive mental engagement, demonstrating its mysterious and transformative qualities. Chocolate can subtly alter dreams when eaten before sleep. Consuming chocolate in small amounts before bedtime can influence the brain's chemistry in subtle ways that affect dreaming. Compounds like theobromine and magnesium slightly stimulate the nervous system while relaxing muscles, which may enhance dream vividness or even influence emotional content. Ancient Mesoamericans and Europeans often used chocolate in rituals before rest or meditation, believing it could open connections to divine knowledge or visions. Even today, people report experiencing unusual, vivid, or more pleasant dreams after eating chocolate before sleep. The effect is subtle and does not work like a stimulant, which makes it mysterious. Chocolate seems to gently guide brain activity during the transition from wakefulness to sleep, showing that even a small piece can interact with mind, body, and perception. This mysterious property reinforces chocolate's historical reputation as a magical and transformative substance, capable of affecting experiences beyond taste. Melting chocolate releases compounds that calm heart rate. When chocolate begins to melt in your mouth, the process releases small molecules like theobromine, flavonols, and aromatic compounds that can influence the nervous system. These substances interact with the body's stress response, reducing heart rate slightly and promoting a feeling of calm. Ancient chocolate rituals may have relied on this effect, serving warm cacao drinks during ceremonies or moments of reflection to help participants focus and relax. The combination of texture, aroma, and temperature amplifies the calming effect, creating an almost invisible physiological response. Unlike strong sedatives or stimulants, chocolate works gently, engaging multiple senses and producing relaxation without drowsiness. Even modern research confirms that chocolate can reduce stress markers, helping people feel calmer within minutes. This shows chocolate's mysterious capacity to interact with both mind and body, making it not just a pleasurable food, but also a subtle tool for emotional and physical well-being. Dark chocolate can create sensation illusions, feeling both solid and liquid at once. Dark chocolate has a unique melting point just below body temperature, meaning it can feel solid when held but begins to melt immediately in the mouth. This creates a fascinating sensory illusion, where the brain perceives both firmness and fluidity at the same time. Ancient chocolate cultures may have recognized this property, treating chocolate as almost magical because it changes form while retaining flavor and aroma. The illusion heightens pleasure, engaging both taste and touch in a way that feels unusual and mysterious. This property also contributes to chocolate's calming effects, as the mind focuses on the complex sensations, creating a moment of mindful presence. The combination of texture, melt, and flavor makes chocolate a multisensory experience that transcends ordinary food. Experiencing this solid yet liquid sensation reveals why chocolate has captivated humans for centuries, blending pleasure, perception, and subtle wonder. Chocolate has been used to enhance meditation focus. In some modern and traditional practices, chocolate is used as a tool to improve concentration and mindfulness during meditation. Consuming a small amount of chocolate before or during a meditation session engages the senses, aroma, taste, and texture, which helps anchor attention in the present moment. Compounds like theobromine, magnesium, and phenylethylamine also support mental clarity and calm, creating a balanced state that is conducive to focus. Ancient cacao ceremonies often included chocolate as part of ritual pairing sensory stimulation with spiritual or mental discipline. The act of slowly eating chocolate encourages awareness of each sensation, mirroring mindfulness techniques. By combining chocolate with meditation, people experience heightened focus, calm, and even subtle euphoria. This demonstrates that chocolate is not just a food, but a tool for mental and emotional exploration, capable of enhancing human perception, concentration, and inner experience in ways that feel mysterious and almost magical. Chocolate combined with deep breathing can increase alpha brainwaves. When chocolate is eaten slowly while practicing deep breathing, the brain can enter a more relaxed and alert state. Alpha brainwaves are associated with calmness, creativity, and light meditation. The act of focusing on the chocolate's aroma, texture, and flavor engages the senses while the slow, rhythmic breathing signals the body to relax. Ancient cacao rituals may have unknowingly used this combination, pairing chocolate with chanting, meditation, or rhythmic movements to create calm awareness. Modern studies suggest that even a small piece of chocolate can enhance the effect by releasing compounds like theobromine and flavonols, which subtly influence the nervous system. The combination of sensory engagement and breathing creates a mysterious synergy that promotes both mental clarity and emotional calm. This demonstrates that chocolate is more than a treat. It is a tool that can help the mind shift into a relaxed, alert, and almost meditative state. Some chocolate bars contain hidden flavors revealed only after full melting. Certain premium or experimental chocolates are crafted so that additional flavor layers only appear once the chocolate has completely melted in the mouth. This can include floral, nutty, or spice notes that are initially hidden beneath the surface. The effect surprises the brain and creates a sense of mystery and discovery. Ancient cacao users may have noticed similar properties when drinking foamy or spiced chocolate drinks, recognizing that slow consumption revealed more complexity. This hidden flavor technique engages both anticipation and reward centers in the brain, increasing enjoyment and attention. It demonstrates that chocolate is more than a static taste. It is a dynamic experience that unfolds over time, connecting perception, memory, and emotion. By discovering these hidden layers, each bite becomes an interactive journey, revealing chocolate's magical capacity to surprise and captivate, making it a truly multisensory, mysterious indulgence. Chocolate aroma can trick your brain into feeling warmth and comfort instantly. The smell of chocolate alone can activate parts of the brain associated with pleasure, memory, and emotion. Aromas trigger responses in the amygdala and hippocampus, which can make someone feel calm, safe, or nostalgic. Ancient cultures may have used chocolate in rituals and ceremonies to create emotional states through its scent, even before tasting it. Modern research confirms that simply smelling chocolate can induce feelings of comfort, reduce stress, and subtly influence mood. This effect occurs because the brain associates the aroma with pleasure, sweetness, and reward, creating a physical and emotional response without any conscious effort. Chocolate's ability to evoke warmth and emotional safety through smell demonstrates its mysterious power beyond taste. It shows that chocolate is a multisensory substance that can manipulate emotion, calm nerves, and produce subtle psychological effects, proving why humans have revered it for centuries as more than just food. Chocolate can enhance the vividness of memory recall during relaxation. Eating chocolate in a calm, focused state can make memories feel more detailed, emotional, or clear. Compounds in chocolate, such as flavonols and theobromine, improve blood flow to the brain, subtly enhancing cognitive function and alertness. When combined with relaxation, chocolate seems to help the brain access stored experiences with greater clarity. Ancient rituals may have paired chocolate with meditation or ceremonial preparation to sharpen intuition or recall ancestral knowledge. Modern sensory studies support this effect, showing that pleasurable tastes and aromas can prime the brain for emotional and memory processing. The unique combination of flavor, texture, aroma, and mild stimulation allows chocolate to influence the mind in mysterious ways. By enhancing memory recall, chocolate demonstrates it is more than a treat. It is a tool for cognition, emotional exploration, and mental focus, revealing its subtle yet profound impact on human experience. The sound of chocolate snapping can trigger subtle pleasure responses in the brain. When a bar of chocolate is broken with a crisp snap, it produces a sound that goes beyond ordinary eating. This sound activates parts of the brain associated with satisfaction, reward, and anticipation. The crispness signals freshness and quality, giving the mind a subtle sense of pleasure even before tasting. Ancient chocolate users may have unconsciously appreciated this effect when breaking cacao blocks or stirring foamy drinks, noticing that the sound enhanced anticipation and enjoyment. Modern chocolatiers design chocolate with specific snap qualities to maximize this sensory impact. This shows that chocolate is more than flavor. It engages hearing, touch, and expectation, creating a multisensory experience. The snap is a small but mysterious trigger that reminds us chocolate affects the mind and senses in ways that are subtle, complex, and deeply satisfying, enhancing enjoyment even before the first bite touches the tongue. Chocolate melting slowly can sync with human heartbeat for a calming effect. Dark chocolate has a melting point just below body temperature, so as it melts in the mouth, it releases flavors gradually. This slow release allows the brain and body to focus on the experience, creating a rhythm that can unconsciously align with the heartbeat. Ancient chocolate ceremonies may have unknowingly used this effect to calm participants and induce focus or meditation. The gentle interaction between chocolate's texture, temperature, and flavor signals the nervous system to reduce stress and promote relaxation. The brain processes the slow melting as a pleasurable, almost hypnotic experience, encouraging calmness and mental clarity. Even small doses can subtly influence heart rate and mood. This property demonstrates chocolate's mysterious ability to create a sensory harmony between body and mind, showing that its impact goes far beyond simple taste. It can orchestrate a gentle physiological and emotional response that feels almost magical. Some chocolate rituals encourage consuming it in silence to heighten awareness. Certain cultural and ceremonial practices involve eating chocolate without talking or distractions. Silence focuses the mind on the chocolate's taste, texture, aroma, and temperature, amplifying sensory perception. Ancient Mesoamerican and European rituals often included silent consumption to honor the cacao, intensify ritual impact, or encourage spiritual reflection. The absence of other stimuli allows the brain to fully process the multi-layered experience, creating heightened awareness and sometimes meditative calm. Modern sensory experts also recommend mindful eating practices with chocolate, emphasizing attention to each detail for deeper enjoyment. Silence allows subtle emotional and physiological responses, like slight mood elevation or stress reduction, to be noticed more clearly. This demonstrates chocolate's power as more than food. It can be a tool for mindfulness, focus, and sensory exploration. The ritualistic act of silent chocolate consumption highlights its mysterious ability to affect mind, body, and perception simultaneously. Chocolate can activate multiple senses simultaneously, creating sensory harmony. When tasting chocolate, multiple senses, taste, smell, sight, and touch, interact in a coordinated way. Its aroma triggers emotional and memory centers in the brain, the texture engages touch receptors, and the visual appearance sets expectation and anticipation. Even subtle sounds, like breaking or unwrapping chocolate, can influence the experience. Ancient cacao ceremonies may have deliberately combined these elements to create a holistic sensory experience that engaged both body and mind. Modern studies show that chocolate's multisensory effects can increase pleasure, calmness, and focus. This harmonious engagement of senses explains why chocolate can feel magical or transformative, producing satisfaction beyond simple taste. By stimulating multiple sensory pathways at once, chocolate becomes more than a treat. It is a complex, mysterious medium that blends flavor, touch, aroma, sight, and even sound into a single, immersive experience. The sensory harmony is one reason humans have treasured chocolate for centuries. Eating chocolate mindfully can improve mood even when alone. Mindful eating means focusing completely on the chocolate, its texture, aroma, taste, and even the way it melts in the mouth, without distractions. This conscious attention can amplify chocolate's natural effects on mood, because the brain fully registers the pleasure signals. Compounds in chocolate like theobromine, flavonols, and phenylethylamine subtly stimulate dopamine and serotonin, which are chemicals related to happiness and calm. Even when alone, slow and mindful consumption allows these effects to be more noticeable. Ancient cacao ceremonies may have unknowingly encouraged similar practices by emphasizing ritual, silence, and careful preparation, connecting chocolate consumption with attention and reflection. Mindful chocolate eating can produce a sense of comfort, reduce stress, and subtle euphoria. It demonstrates chocolate's mysterious ability to influence emotions independently of social context, showing that it can serve as a tool for personal relaxation, mental focus, and emotional balance, turning a simple treat into a multi-sensory, mood-enhancing experience. Chocolate sometimes contains traces of naturally occurring mood-stabilizing chemicals. Chocolate is not just sweet. It naturally contains compounds that influence the brain in subtle ways. For example, theobromine, phenylethylamine, and anandamide can act like mild stimulants or mood stabilizers, triggering feelings of calm, alertness, or pleasure. These chemicals work in small amounts, which is why chocolate feels comforting but not overpowering. Ancient cacao users may have noticed that chocolate improved emotional states or reduced anxiety, incorporating it into ceremonies, rituals, and social practices for its calming and uplifting effects. Modern science confirms that chocolate affects neurotransmitters in the brain, creating a gentle influence on mood and perception. The presence of these natural compounds makes chocolate more than a simple snack. It is a mysterious, biologically active food that interacts with human psychology. Even small doses can subtly shift emotions, providing a sense of calm, happiness, or focus that seems almost magical. Ancient cacao recipes suggest mixing chocolate with night-blooming flowers for dream enhancement. Some early Mesoamerican recipes for chocolate drinks included petals or extracts from flowers that bloom at night, like certain jasmine or evening primrose varieties. These flowers were believed to enhance dreams, intuition, and spiritual awareness. The combination of chocolate and night-blooming flowers likely influenced brain activity, relaxation, and dream vividness through natural compounds affecting the nervous system. Drinking this mixture in the evening may have subtly prepared the mind for sleep while stimulating imagination or emotional reflection. Ancient cultures treated this combination as a ritualistic practice, using it to connect with dreams or divine knowledge. Today, recreating such combinations can give a sense of mystery and sensory depth, showing that chocolate has long been more than a treat. It has been a tool for mental exploration, dream enhancement, and ritual. The careful pairing of chocolate with natural botanicals highlights its historical and mysterious role in human consciousness. Chocolate can alter perception of bitterness in other foods, making them more palatable. Chocolate has compounds that interact with taste receptors, not only creating sweetness, but also softening or masking bitterness in other foods. Eating chocolate before or during a meal can make foods like coffee, dark greens, or certain spices taste less harsh and more enjoyable. Ancient cacao cultures may have recognized this effect when blending chocolate with spicy, bitter, or exotic ingredients in ceremonial drinks or recipes. This property is mysterious because chocolate can influence taste perception beyond its own flavor, changing how the brain interprets other sensory inputs. Modern chefs and chocolatiers use this principle to create complex flavor pairings, combining chocolate with unusual ingredients to surprise and delight the senses. Chocolate's ability to alter taste perception demonstrates that it is not just a sweet treat but a multisensory tool, subtly manipulating flavor, enjoyment, and perception, and showing its deep, almost magical, effect on human experience. Certain chocolate textures can stimulate facial pleasure muscles unconsciously. Chocolate has a unique combination of smoothness, firmness, and melt that engages not only the tongue but also tiny muscles in the face. When biting, chewing, or letting chocolate melt, these muscles respond to texture and flavor, often without conscious effort. The brain interprets these muscle movements as pleasurable signals, subtly enhancing mood and satisfaction. Ancient chocolate users may have noticed how different preparations produce distinct sensory effects, influencing the design of drinks, bars, or molded cacao. Modern chocolatiers study texture carefully, understanding that snap, creaminess, and melt rate all impact how the brain processes pleasure. This effect is mysterious because the pleasure occurs partly through unconscious physical responses, showing that chocolate affects both body and mind simultaneously. By stimulating facial muscles in subtle ways, chocolate creates a hidden, multi-layered sense of enjoyment, reinforcing its reputation as a treat that engages senses beyond simple taste, turning each bite into a full-body experience. Chocolate can create a minor cognitive lull, a calming mental pause. Eating chocolate can produce a gentle slowdown in thought activity, allowing the brain to enter a quiet, relaxed state. This cognitive lull is caused by compounds like theobromine, phenylethylamine, and flavonols that subtly influence neurotransmitters. Ancient cultures may have observed that chocolate could calm the mind before meditation, ritual, or sleep, incorporating it into ceremonies designed to promote focus, reflection, or spiritual awareness. This mental pause is not a sedative effect but a mild, pleasant break in mental chatter, helping the brain feel refreshed and relaxed. The calming pause can improve attention, reduce stress, and prepare the mind for reflective or creative tasks. Chocolate's ability to create this subtle, temporary mental pause shows that it is more than a food. It is a tool that gently influences brain activity, mood, and perception, demonstrating its mysterious and multi-layered interaction with human consciousness. Eating chocolate slowly can synchronize brain waves to a relaxed, meditative state. When chocolate is consumed deliberately and slowly, the combination of taste, aroma, and melt engages the senses in a steady rhythm. This sensory focus can guide brain activity into patterns similar to light meditation, particularly increasing alpha waves associated with calm alertness. Ancient cacao ceremonies may have unknowingly used this principle, pairing chocolate consumption with ritual, silence, and attention to detail. Modern neuroscience confirms that slow sensory engagement can influence brainwave patterns, enhancing relaxation, focus, and emotional balance. The melting texture, gradual flavor release, and aromatic stimulation work together to create a gentle, almost hypnotic experience. Eating chocolate slowly allows the mind to settle, reducing distractions and stress while improving emotional awareness. This mysterious effect demonstrates chocolate's power as more than a treat. It can act as a bridge between sensory pleasure and meditative calm, subtly guiding both mind and body toward a tranquil, harmonious state. Ending the night with chocolate, consciously enjoyed, can become a mysterious ritual that signals your mind to unwind completely. Consuming chocolate at the end of the day, when done intentionally, engages multiple senses and brain pathways. The aroma, texture, taste, and gentle chemical stimulation work together to signal the body that it is time to relax. Ancient traditions may have included evening chocolate consumption to mark transitions between activity and rest, or to prepare participants for meditation or sleep. Modern experiences of night chocolate, particularly dark or single-origin varieties, enhance focus on flavor and sensation, encouraging mindfulness and emotional closure for the day. The slow enjoyment creates a sense of ritual, training the mind to associate chocolate with calmness, reflection, and winding down. Over time, this practice can subtly influence sleep patterns, emotional state, and mental relaxation. Ending the day this way demonstrates chocolate's mysterious capacity to shape experience, showing it is more than food. It is a tool for mind, body, and emotional balance.